morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening to you all, and welcome to what could be the most exciting night of your entire lives. You are live with me, the Points Partner, here from Los Angeles, California. For those of you that don't know me or have just recently started following me, I put people on beds, on planes for free. That's what I do. I do it using the power of credit card points and air miles. I was about to say single, but I'm in a relationship. I'm divorced, I guess, but in a relationship. I have a daughter. I'm originally British. I'm now also American. I live in Los Angeles, California. My girlfriend lives in New York. My parents live in London, England. I have friends all around the world. And it is my life's work, ambition, business, aim and objective and mission statement to put all of you on beds, on planes for free. That's what I do, and I do it a number of different ways, but you all know that already. So we're going to get straight into it. If you guys have got any questions, I'm good to go for about half an hour. So knock yourselves out with, how do I do this? Which card should I do with that? How should I move my points? What about this? What about the taxes? How do I get the lounge? Da, da, da. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm ready to do this. I've just got back from Japan myself. I don't know if any of you saw that. Also, I've been in the DMs chatting with a lot of you. And first of all, I thank you all for the support. I get a lot of support online from you guys. So I wanted to thank you for that. A lot of people were asking in the DMs about my trip to Japan, how I booked that, which I actually spoke about on my last live before I went. So I don't really want to cover that. I also don't want to talk about my course. If any of you haven't watched my course, go and watch it. You don't have to pay for it to start with. You can just DM me free course. I'll send you a link. You can start watching it for nothing. The questions are coming in now. Asa says, is American Express better or Capital One for lounge? Great question. So there's actually pros and cons to both of them. You get more lounges with American Express. With American Express, you get the Priority Pass lounges, you get the Delta lounge if you're flying Delta that day, and you get the Amex Centurion lounges. With Capital One, you only get the Priority Pass lounges, but you get to bring guests in, unlike with Amex. So if you're traveling with people, the Capital One card is better. If you're traveling alone, the opposite. SRL Boheme, you need to DM me free course, not write in the chat. So come out of this live, hit on my name, hit message, and put free course, and I'll send it to you as soon as I finish this live, okay? All right, what's the best business card for travel as well as business? So there's a huge misconception that you need to have business credit cards for business and you need to have personal cards for personal. You don't. You can use either for either, and your accountant will tell you the same. So what's the best business card for earning points for travel is not the same as what's the best business card to use while traveling. They're two separate things. But if you are going to use an out-and-out business credit card, the American Express Gold and Platinum cards are the only business cards that come with no foreign transaction fees, which is a huge element of this. If you're using cards overseas. But my recommendation is not to use business cards when you're overseas, is to use an authorized user version of your personal card to keep your business and your personal expenses separate. And that's all explained how to do that in my course. Having problems syncing my AA and Iberia accounts. Any idea what could be happening? Well, AA and Iberia don't connect, which is probably why you're struggling there, unless you meant American Express and Iberia. Those two connect, but American Airlines and Iberia do not connect in any way. Well, they're both members of One World, but you can't send from one to the other. Janesh says, American Express Platinum, which lounge can be used at DFW and London? Okay. So I get this all the time, which is like, how do I know which lounges are available where? So simple. Download the Priority Pass app and then just put in the 3-letter code of the airport you're at, and it tells you every terminal, every lounge, how to get there, what time they open, what they've got, and everything you need. That's for Priority Pass. If you've got American Express Platinum, then simply just Google American Express Centurion lounges and you'll see if there's one at your local airport or not. As far as London is concerned, totally depends which terminal. The terminals are nowhere near each other, so it depends which terminal you're at. But I can tell you that there's Priority Pass ones for sure at 2, 3, and 5. 1 and 4, I'm not sure about. Haven't been to those in a while. All right, we continue on. Mr. Eugene says, "What's up?" I say, "What's up, Eugene? How you doing?" Best Amex Platinum version. Okay, Amex Platinum. There's 4 different Amex Platinum cards. There's really only 2 worth talking about because the other ones are kind of co-branded with banks. So we talk about the Amex Personal Platinum and the Amex Business Platinum. As I'm talking to you, I'm going to pull out my wallet. This will get you all going. So the first thing I would say is, unless you are an Equinox gym member, I see no value in the Personal Platinum card. That is right. A points professional with platinum cards behind me and platinum cards in my hand saying to you, I see no value in a Personal Platinum card unless you are a gym member of, what do you call it? What did I just say? Already forgotten. You know what I mean, that gym. The Business Platinum is so much better than the Personal Platinum. Let me explain to you why. They're the same price. The difference is this card doesn't report, see where it says business? This card doesn't report your utilization back to the credit bureaus. So I'm protecting my personal credit by spending on this one, not the personal one. Second reason, this comes with a $400 Dell credit that you don't get on the Personal Platinum. Now, even you're all thinking the same thing as me. I don't spend any money with Dell. I use Mac. I don't use PCs. Dell is now a reseller for Amazon, which means you can buy everything from bags to luggage to drones to cameras, computers. You can buy everything under the sun now on Dell.com. So you're getting $400 back right there just for that. And that's not even the major reason that I think that the Business Platinum is better than the Personal Platinum. The last reason, and is by far the most important one, this guy gets me 35% of my points back when I fly on my chosen airline or any business or first class ticket. 35% back. I only need to use that once every 10 years. Makes more sense to have this card than the other one. Okay. Which Capital One should I get? Okay, so Capital One is so simple to understand now. Okay. All of the cards give you 2 times, they call them miles, but technically they're credit card points that can be converted to miles, but whatever. You get 2 times points for every dollar you spend on pretty much all of their decent cards, right? My recommendation is to lean to, if you don't have lounge access, get the VentureX, because that comes with the lounge access. If you already do have lounge access and you don't need guest access, then go ahead and get the Venture. That's on the personal side. On the business side, which you don't need to own a business to use business credit cards, the Capital One Spark Business Miles is the second most applied for credit card on my website this month. Why? It's free for the first year, and it's $95 every year after. Comes with 50,000 points as a sign-up bonus. So it's kind of a no-brainer. It's a great, Capital One is really good for your non-bonus category spend. So not for food, drink, gas, travel, marketing, or office supplies. I'll say that again. Not for food, drink, gas, travel, marketing, or office supplies. For everything else. So what's everything else? Which, by the way, that everything else represents 50% of what you spend every month. Okay, doctors, lawyers, dentists, clothing, online purchases, insurance, bills, all of that stuff. 2 times points is the best you're going to get for that stuff. And therefore, Capital One, solid cards. They're crushing it on my website right now for applications. All right, let's continue on. Let's see what else we've got in the dungeon here of questions. I'm scrolling down. Oh, hey, Leanne. Didn't see you there. All right, Tonya says, flying to Alaska this summer, what is the best way to book flights? I have Big Blue Bank Sapphire points and Capital One points, family of 4. Okay. I don't know where you're flying from, so that's a slight issue. So your absolute starting point is you want to search one way for mileage tickets from wherever you are to Alaska on the dates that you want to go, with all of the transfer partners of the credit card companies that you've got. Now, between the Big Blue Bank and Capital One, you've got the best part of 13 different airline partners that you can open up an account with and search one way. Now, wherever you are in America, if you're flying in coach, you're looking for 12,000 miles per person each way. So in the best case scenario, it's going to cost you 50,000 points each way to do this trip to Alaska and back. If you're struggling with that or you can't find 4, you can have a look as in the travel portal. Now, the travel portal generally is going to end up costing you more. Now, depending on which Sapphire product you've got, you get either a 25 or a 50% bonus within the portal. So it might actually work out better to do it with the Big Blue Bank than it will do as a mileage ticket. Not the case for Capital One. I know that sounds confusing. It's really hard to answer these questions when I can't talk to you at the same time. Fill out a form on my website. There's a travel form. I'll help you find the tickets in 20 minutes. Won't be a big deal. That's a nice and easy one to do. All right. What else have we got? Keyweeler 55. I don't want to use Aeroplan. Does it make sense to cash in my miles? You don't want to use Aeroplan. Does it make sense to cash in my miles? No. All travel benefits, unsurprisingly, are best used for travel. If you try and take cash or money off your bill and stuff like that, you get screwed. The exchange rate's really bad. Don't have travel credit cards if you don't want to travel. Get cashback cards, right? Now, the cashback you'll get is not going to be anywhere near what you'd get in free travel. So if you do ever travel, you want travel credit cards. If you're scared of planes and hotels, keep the cashback. All right, Michelle says, does Costco gas count as gas? If not, is it better to get gas at Costco for cheaper or gas stations to earn 3 times points? This is a good question. I believe, and you have to clarify this, and you can Google it, I'm pretty sure that Costco does clarify, or Costco gas does clarify as gas. Now, is the gas cheap enough that it makes more sense that you don't get the points and that you get the cash back on the Costco card? I get asked this question all the time. And it really comes down to how well you use your points. If you don't know how to use your points, you are better off taking the cheap gas. If you know how to use your points and you can turn each point into 7 times the value because you watch my Fly Free Academy and you understand this stuff, then you're better off getting the points. I'm called the points partner for a reason, because points are worth 7 times more than air miles or cashback. So, if there's an opportunity to gain points, points is always the answer. The exchange rate is in our favor. But if you don't know how to use those points, then it's the opposite. Hope that makes sense. Shabby says, are black cards worth it? It depends on your spending habits. First of all, you can't apply for a black card. You have to be invited. So there's the decision taken away from you to begin with. The black card is more of a status thing than it is anything else. The actual benefits of the card, unless you really travel like every single day of the week, honestly, you'd be better off with the platinum card. The major benefit of the Centurion card, or what's known as the black card, is being able to slap that down at an expensive dinner and impress your clients or a potential date. That is honestly the major advantage of it. Not worth it is my answer. Debbie says, what's the best credit card for a Canadian thinking of traveling? So in Canada, you're much more limited, and you definitely want to lean towards the American Express Gold and Platinum card and the co-branded Aeroplan cards. Canada is one of the few places in the world that having a co-branded card makes sense, because your national carrier is a part of Star Alliance. Air Canada, Aeroplan, is a part of the Star Alliance, which is the largest alliance. In other words, if you have an Air Canada credit card or Aeroplan credit card, you can actually access most of the world from Canada pretty simply. Also, American Express transfers the points to Aeroplan. So you can have Amex cards that you can use on Air Canada, and you can have Air Canada cards that you can use on Canada. It's all very syncy, matchy, lovely jubbly. Okay, good. Taylor says, is 110,000 points enough to travel from Milan to the US if dates aren't flexible? Can't tell if I'm just looking at it wrong. Well, you're saying if the dates aren't flexible, it depends on what date it is you want to fly. I can tell you that from Milan to the US, if it's done correctly, that can be done for 25,000 points each way in coach. It can be done for 35,000 points each way in premium economy. And it can be done for 55,000 points each way in business in the best case scenario. In the worst case scenario, it could be 700,000 points each way. So it does depend on the dates that you want to go. Is it ever a good idea to book flights with points through Amex portal, or is it always better off to transfer to airlines? Abid, I love this question, and I'm going to love answering it even more. If you are flying internationally, 100% of the time you're going to want to transfer out into airlines. If you are flying domestically, depending on the class, the time, and the dates, it potentially can be better to do it through the portal if you've got the business platinum card and you're getting 35% back. Let me give you an example. Let's say I want to fly from Los Angeles to Paris and back in business class. That would be $7,000, which in the portal will be 700,000 points. I know by transferring I can do it for 100,000 points, which is a seventh of that. If I'm doing a domestic, let's say I'm doing to New York and back, and it's $500. In the portal, that will be 50,000 points. But to do as mileage, it'll be 25,000 points. But if the dates are bad, it might be 60, 70, 80,000 points, in which case I'd be better off doing it through the portal. And that's where it starts to get a bit more complex. And in my course, I explain how to value points and how you can kind of do your own math simply with each flight to work out what makes the most sense. And another question I get asked with this all the time is, do I ever pay for flights, or do I always use points? Because, you know, I'm the points partner. I often pay for flights because if it makes sense, I'm not going to waste my points, right? I just booked a flight for September, just a New York LA run, and it was horrible on points. I'm not going to waste a ton of points. I normally do that for 10, 20,000 points. I'm not going to spend 50, 60,000 points. I'll give them, they can have my $400. Don't worry about it. I'll keep the points and use them to fly to Japan or Africa or something interesting. Okay. Hiya, Owen. Is there a trick to booking multi-city via miles on KLM or Air France? Ooh, this is some advanced stuff here. So up until about 3 months ago, the short answer was no, you can't. You'd have to book it all separately. Now, I believe that Air France, or as we call it, Flying Blue, which is the name of their frequent flyer program, will actually allow you to lay over, okay, or stop over. I believe it's up to 48 hours now. Admittedly, I haven't actually booked any of those yet for anyone. And I also wouldn't necessarily advise it. When you fly through Paris on Air France, the flight that you get from Paris to wherever you're going is free. All you're really paying for is to get from America to Paris. Wherever you go after that, doesn't matter whether it's London, Amsterdam, Morocco, it makes no difference. It's included in the price. So unless there's a specific reason for you to lay over in Paris, my recommendation is to book it all the way through. It's the same cost. How do I book JAL via American Airlines using AVIOS? You don't. Flights not on BA website either. Okay, so this is a one world question, right? So one world is the alliance, and under that you've got American Airlines, you've got Japan Air, you've got British Airways, and somebody's asking, how can I book Japan Air using American Airlines? You can only do that if you have American Airlines miles. If you don't have American Airlines miles, you can't. What you can do is all of the major credit card companies transfer to British Airways, and you can book it from there. If it's not available on the dates that you're looking, you're out of luck. It's as simple as that. But that's the easiest way to do it. I want to take my kids to Japan. I'm not stopping you. Correct me, there's 78 people on this live right now. 75 now. They didn't like that sentence. Did I say to anyone, you can't take your kids to Japan? No, I didn't. So go ahead, take your kids to Japan. That Indian guy says, what's the best way to look for award flights for business class? That is literally what my life's work is, teaching people that. Go and watch my course, the Fly Free Academy. There is 5.5 hours of me telling you the best ways to do it. But I will tell you this much, right? If you're looking for like some easy advice, number one, only search one way. Do not search round trip. Search one way. Number two, be flexible. Not the day that you want to go, the day before or the day after. Then you've got 3 times as much chance of finding sale price award business class availability. Number 3, search from A to C. What does that mean? Well, if you're A, which is for me Los Angeles, and you want to go to C, which is Paris, searching A to C, you're only going to find the direct flights. Try searching out of other surrounding airports. So I'm here in Los Angeles. I'll try out of Vegas. I'll try out of San Francisco. I'll try out of Denver. I'll try out of Dallas. Doesn't make a difference. I can always hop to one of those to get my bed to where I'm going. Those are kind of the 3 simplest ways of finding that availability. Taylor says, also, I have the Citibank Premier card with 90,000 miles points, and I want to use them for travel for Italy to the US, but their travel partners aren't populating any flights. Should I cash the points out? Definitely not the last option. Taylor, respectfully, you're missing some information here. Citibank has got some of the best transfer partners of all the credit card companies out there. Sounds to me like you don't know what they are, and you don't know how to set them up, and you don't understand how to search within them. So here are 3 different ways that you can fix this problem. Number 1, go on my website, fill out a travel form. I will find those flights for you. Number 2, watch my online course and learn how to do it yourself, the Fly Free Academy. Or 3, don't do either of the first 2 and pay $7,000 for your flight. Those are the obvious solutions to that one. Tony says Ohio. I don't know why Tony's saying Ohio, but I'm okay with it. I don't have an issue there. Alaskan Airlines is amazing. I'm not saying they're not. Cello, my fellow Cello here. Hello, beautiful. How you doing? Shabby says, do you have a cheat sheet in regards to different kinds of cards and their benefits? So I don't have it all as one cheat sheet, but I do have a transfer sheet available that you can download for free. Just DM me transfer chart and I'll send you that and you can look at that. As far as the benefits, they're kind of complicated. In my course, there's an entire module where I do a video on each individual credit card and I tell you the truth, not just what's good about each card, what's bad about them as well, and who they're good for, who they're bad for. Which brings me very nicely onto this. People always wave credit cards at me and they say, is this a good credit card? And it's the wrong question, right? So there's no such thing as a good credit card. If that was the case, everyone would have the same one credit card and all the other credit card companies would go out of business. That's not what happens. It's very demographically based. So it's a case of, is this credit card good for you? Or is this credit card bad for you? It's about understanding who you are, what your credit score is, what your credit profile is, what you're trying to achieve. You're trying to gain points, you're trying to get access to lounges, you're trying to impress people, you're trying to protect your personal credit. Like there's 1,000 different options available to you, and it's about finding the right things for you. So DM me free chart and I'll send you something. How do I book JAL via AVIOS? No, we just did that. We just did that one. I'm a realtor in Miami. I never said you weren't a realtor in Miami, and I hope you sell lots of houses. If anyone has extra miles, I found thousands of miles each month. I'd gladly use your points. I'm not sure what you're saying or what you mean. That's a great Costco question. Is the VentureX good for someone from New York? As far as lounges are concerned, are there any to use in JFK and LaGuardia? Yes, is the short answer. Yes. You don't need to get a credit card with lounge access to know where the lounges are. Just download Priority Pass app or go to their website, type in JFK, and it will show you all the lounges that are available, where they are, what times they're open, and all the stuff you get with it. Whoever who just DM'd me and said, why should I get cards on your site? Guys, we've been through this 1,000 times, but I'll go over it one more time. Whatever you do, don't apply for credit cards for stuff that comes in the mail. It is predatory. It's not coming from the banks or the credit card companies. It is coming from third-party marketing companies who literally screw you over in the terms and conditions. That's number 1. Number 2, you can then apply for credit cards either on, say, American Express or Citibank or Capital One's website, or you can apply for it on mine. What's the difference? The difference is very, very slight, but the difference is if you apply on their website, and it doesn't instantly approve you, which 80% of you will not be instantly approved, then you're going to have to sit on hold with them for 4 hours. If you apply through me, you have me, and I can jump on the phone or give you special phone numbers, and we can get it taken care of in 5 minutes. And there's, I'm incentivized to get you approved. So I'm like your backup. I got your back, yo. So that's the advantage. All right, I just received the Amex Platinum card in the mail today, but I don't think I will utilize it properly. Is it too late to cancel it? Yes, it is. So here's what I would say. I think there's a video on the Platinum card in the free version of my course. So if you don't need to buy my course, I think you just watch the video on that. There will be use for you, but you need to, you can't cancel it. What you can do is you can phone them and downgrade it, and they might proportionalize and give you back some of the annual fee. But my guess is we can probably make good use of it for you. So go on my website, book a 15-minute Zoom call with me. I will find a way of making it make money for you, one way or another. That's what I do. Learn how to use those points then if you don't know how to use them. Amen? Absolutely. Okay, Michelle says, should we transfer points to an airline if there is a special deal even if you don't have plans for that airline. You always say don't transfer points until you have a trip planned. This is great. These are, and by the way, this is absolutely correct. I always tell people, don't move points unless you want to book something. And then these transfer bonuses come. They're offering you 20, 30, 40, 50% extra points to move your points into an airline. And now I'm telling you, do move them. So which is it? Well, it's a bit of both is the short answer. Don't move your points unless it's a transfer bonus, unless you've got something specific to use them for. If there's a transfer bonus on that you want to take advantage of, you have to kind of plan ahead and say, at some point in the next 18 months to 2 years, am I going to use not that airline, but anything under that alliance? So let's say, for example, there's a transfer bonus into Air France. It's not just, am I flying to France? It's anything under SkyTeam. So that would include KLM, which is Amsterdam, Air France, which is obviously France, Delta, which is the whole world over, and a bunch of other airlines. And the same for, you've got to look at the alliances. So you can plan ahead and say, well, I could use it to go to summer, next summer in Europe or next winter in Asia or South America. So yeah, I mean, I do it all the time. If you've got enough points that you've got lying around, you can move and take advantage of some of these bonuses and make it work. I hope that answers your question, Michelle. Not sure if it did. Somebody says, I have Diners Club. You're in the wrong chat. Diners Club ain't going to get you very far with free travel. So no, I don't like it. That was your next question. It's a waste of time for free travel. As a Canadian, it sucks to use Amex overseas. Purchases are converted into US dollars before it gets converted to Canadian dollars. Other cards I have convert straight to Canadian dollars. Otherwise, Amex is great to use in Canada and the US. Yeah, I agree with all the above. The course is legit. I thought it was good, but it has so many nuances done in simple videos. Thank you. Appreciate you. Sorry, guys. I'm just scrolling down, and there's a lot of people joining, so I have to scroll past. Okay, LOL, sorry. I can do a family of 4 from Orlando to Japan with 850,000 Amex points. If so, when is best? Absolutely, you can. You can do it for a lot less than that. It's all date dependent. Let me put it in perspective for you. Me and my girlfriend just went to Japan and back on Valentine's Day. We went out and we came back 8 days later, business class, 6-foot lay flat bed. You can scroll through my Instagram and see all the pictures and videos. And I paid less than 100,000 points for each one of us round trip. So you've got 850,000 points. In the best case scenario, you could take 8 people business class to Japan and back. Now, will we be able to get the best dates for you and a family of 4? Definitely not. In fact, it'll be the opposite of that. So yes, I can get you there for 850,000 points, more or less. I can get 4 of you business class to Japan and back. Yeah. I fill out a form on my website. There's a travel form. You just fill it out, take you 2 seconds, give me 24, 48 hours. I will find those flights, come back to you, and we'll lock those in for you. Whew. Thank you, Paul, for buying a badge. Somebody appreciates my efforts here on the interwebs. Just Paul. 150 people have come through here, but it's just Paul who appreciates it so far. I'm only kidding. Thank you, Paul. Is the X1 credit card worth getting? Not for free travel. If you're looking to leverage credit card debt into businesses, you can get some high available credit with the X1 card. That's the only value for it. Paul, what are the best 2 non-based miles programs to join each of the 3 major alliances? Okay, only because you're buying badges, Paul, I'm going to hook you up. Your number 1 frequent flyer program for the One World Alliance is going to be British Airways. Your number 1 for the Sky Team is going to be Air France's Flying Blue. And your number 1 for Star Alliance is going to be Air Canada, closely followed by Avianca Life Miles. They're the number 1 and 2 of each one that I would recommend joining. Crypto Fanatic says, my son graduates from high school, family of 4, going to Dubai in June from LAX. Is it possible to book a business class lay flat? I have over 1 million points on Amex and VentureX. So you've left it very late for a family of 4 for Dubai for this summer. If you were asking me for next summer, my answer would be probably. For this summer, it's very unlikely, unless you've got, how many points have you got? 1 million points. It's unlikely. Fill out the form. Let me see if I can find you something. But I've got to be honest with you, 4 of you in June for this year, it's not without stopping. Maybe we can, do a layover in London, Paris, or Amsterdam, or Frankfurt, or something. Fill out the form. Let me take a look. Good evening. What's the best way I can maximize my points in my business platinum? What can I use to buy or gain more points? So you're asking kind of two different questions there. One is like, is that the best card? It's probably definitely not. The platinum cards are actually the least point yielding cards out there. It's really the other cards. In fact, let me show you some cards and I'll explain why that's the case. All right, so we're talking about the business platinum. That card just gets you 1 point for every dollar you spend, unless it's on travel, which makes no sense because the whole idea of having the card is that you don't pay for travel, or if it's a transaction of over $5,000, in which case you get 1.5 points instead of 1 point for every dollar that you spend. I'm going to hold this back here because I don't want to get any credit card fraud, but this is my Amex page. So the Business Blue Plus, that gets you 2 points for every dollar that you spend. That's already better than 1. That's twice as many. The Business Gold gets me 4 times points on restaurants, travel, marketing, and gas. The Amex Rose Gold gets me 4 times points on all my food and drink. That's just 1 page of 30 that I have of credit cards. It explains you why the Platinum card is probably the last card that you want to spend on, but it's probably the first card that you want for all the other benefits that it comes with. My my throat's going a bit. All right, we're going to do 5 more minutes and then we're going to wrap up. Okay, best way to fly to London from the US, which airlines or points? Okay, totally depends on whether you're trying to get there quickly or cheaply. If you're trying to get there quickly, British Airways or Virgin Atlantic fly direct. They have the most availability, the most amount of flights, the most amount of options. Unfortunately, they have the most amount of taxes. And if you're flying business class from somewhere far away like Los Angeles or San Francisco, you'll be paying $700-800 each way in taxes alone. However, the cheat sheet is if you go out of New York and you get on a morning flight, it can be as little as $150 and you don't need a bed because it's a day flight. So there's that there. If you're trying to do it cheaply, the cheapest way to do it is Iberia via Madrid. That'll be the least amount of miles, least amount of taxes, closely followed by Air France and KLM. Boom. He knows his stuff, ladies and gentlemen. He knows his stuff. All right, I'm going to do 5 more questions, all right? Do you happen to know if you still get a business sign-up bonus if you've already had an Amex personal bonus, please? The short answer is if you haven't already had a bonus on that card, you'll still get it. If you go on my website, before you apply, when you apply, before you click submit, it will tell you if you're not eligible. So if you are eligible, it will just go through. If you are not eligible, it comes up with a box that says, before you click submit, you should know you're not eligible for a sign-up bonus. So go and do it on my website, thepointspartner.com, and it will tell you. Asa says, what is the best credit card for international lounges? If you're looking for taking guests, the Capital One VentureX is the only one that allows you to take guests. If you're traveling alone, the Amex Business Platinum. That has the most amount of lounges. Yes, you are answering the questions very well. Appreciate it. Thank you, Michelle. As far as I can maximize my points on cards, how can I keep creating more so I can keep getting more points? All right, so I get this a lot of the time. There's like, I got a bunch of credit cards. I need more points. What do I do? There is a section in my course on how to get more points. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it. But if I'm honest with you, if you really want to push it, join my inner circle. That's where I drop stuff that I can't say in a public forum. And there is 40 hours of gems of me explaining to you ways that you can get points without spending money and all sorts of other cheeky weeky stuff that I can't say here. Go on my website, check out the inner circle. Okay, let's do I am Jose Ramos, bought a badge. Thank you, I appreciate you. It's very sweet of you. Thank you. And same for Dia, thank you for the badge. I heard that if you previously had an Amex card and reapply for it again, you are not eligible for the welcome points offer. Is that true? Yes, it is. Absolutely true. If I've had a personal Amex bonus, can I still get a business bonus? Can't find a solid answer anywhere, sadly. Josh, the answer is literally yes. That is the solid answer. Yes, you can. Like, as I just said, if you go on my website and you apply for something, it will pop up with a box if you're not eligible before you submit it. I have Amex points and traveling to Medellin, best airline to book. Well, best airline and cheapest airline are two different things when it comes to Medellin. For those of you who don't know, Medellin, Colombia, which I was with my girlfriend there about 3 or 4 months ago. The cheapest is going to be Avianca. Right? Avianca is a South American airline. Their program is called Life Miles, and you can go to lifemiles.com and open up a free account with them and search one way. You will find tons of cheap availability, and that is what I would recommend. If you want to go in business class, they've just stopped the lay flat beds. The one that I went on was the last month of them doing it from America. So my recommendation is to have a look on American Airlines or Delta. You'll find something there. Okie dokie Loki. Adex, thank you for the badge. I appreciate you. All right, I caught up just in time. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Before I do that, if any of you haven't already checked out the Fly Free Academy, which is my online course, I demand that you go and check it out. Let me pull up a picture. Hang on one sec. Give me a second. All right. This is my course, the Fly Free Academy. It's about 5.5, 6 hours of mad gems, and it's a real online course. It's not BS. It's not fake. I've spent a fortune on directors, editors, graphic design, all sorts of stuff. It is awesome. You can start watching it for free. Just DM me free course. I'll send you a link. You can start watching it. You don't have to put your credit card information in. And after about an hour of your jaw being dropped, you might want to purchase the rest of it. If you do that before midnight tonight, you can use the discount code IGLIVE, and that will get you 15% off. The course has a full money-back guarantee for any reason whatsoever. If you're not happy, if you don't think that I'm dropping mad gems all day, every day, I don't know what else to say, you can go ahead and take your money back, but you won't. You'll get beds on planes for free. You'll tag me. We'll become friends. You'll join the inner circle. I'll teach you even more stuff, and we'll hang out, and life will be amazing, apart from lots of more pandemics and the war in Ukraine. All right, let's not go down that road. Okay, Marty says, I have a City Rewards card less than a year, but want to upgrade, don't want to upgrade it. Says I need to wait 24 months. Next recommendation. Your next Amex Rose Gold card. 4 times points and all your food and drink, Marty. All right, let me unpin myself, stop sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to leave. Before I do that, DM me if you need anything. If you want the free chart, you want my free course, you want a form to fill out so I can help you book travel, if you're not sure what credit card to get next, or you just want to hang out with me in the DMs without my girlfriend knowing. Be safe out there, kiddos. Bye.